Beijing is once again positioning itself at the center of global attention. On Friday, Chinese officials announced details of a high-profile diplomatic event, one that is meant to showcase the country's growing influence on the world stage. In doing so, Beijing also sought to contrast its approach with what it frequently describes as Western dominance. China made headlines with sharp words, underscoring its long-standing narrative against Western powers. China slammed hegemonism and power politics as it unveiled plans for the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit. This gathering, scheduled to take place in the northern port city of Tianjin from August 31st to September 1st, is being portrayed by Beijing as a forum dedicated to stability, peace, and cooperation. The timing of the event is no coincidence. Just days after the summit concludes, the Chinese capital will host a grand military parade to mark 80 years since the end of World War II. Analysts say the overlap is deliberate. It allows Beijing to connect present-day diplomacy with historical memory, positioning itself as both a guardian of peace and a power that draws legitimacy from past sacrifice. The SCO has long been viewed by Beijing as a strategic counterweight to Western-led alliances, particularly those anchored by the United States. Originally established in 2001, the bloc has grown to include 10 member states. These include heavyweights like Russia, India, and Pakistan, along with several Central Asian nations. The grouping often emphasizes security, regional stability, and economic cooperation. Over the years, China has consistently argued that the SCO represents a more inclusive and balanced model of international relations. Officials describe it as a framework that respects sovereignty and promotes dialogue, unlike what Beijing views as coercive blocs led by the West. Friday's briefing served as a reminder of how China continues to frame this organization. The language was clear. By criticizing hegemonism and power politics, Beijing sought to reinforce the notion that Western alliances are destabilizing, while the SCO stands for collective strength and equality. The scale of this year's summit underscores that point. According to Chinese officials, more than 20 world leaders will travel to Tianjin for what will be the SCO's largest meeting since its founding. China's Assistant Foreign Minister Liu Bin provided details at a press conference. Liu Bin said, more than 20 foreign leaders, including Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin, will attend the regional security bloc's largest meeting since it was founded. The presence of Modi and Putin adds significant weight to the gathering. Their attendance signals both India's and Russia's willingness to deepen engagement within this framework, despite their own complex relationships with China and with each other. For Beijing, their participation demonstrates the SCO's credibility. Having leaders from major global powers attend underlines the group's claim to be a serious player in shaping regional and even international affairs. Equally striking is the timing of the summit in relation to Beijing's planned military parade. Set for early September, the parade is intended to commemorate the victory over Japan in World War II. It is one of the most symbolic and politically charged anniversaries on China's calendar. Linking the summit with the parade allows China to weave together two narratives, one of international diplomacy and one of historical pride. The message is that China not only defends peace today, but has done so in the past at great cost. Observers note that Beijing has frequently used historical anniversaries to project strength and unity, both at home and abroad. This year is no exception. The SCO summit, occurring just days before tanks roll through Tiananmen Square and military aircraft streak across Beijing's skies, creates a powerful image of continuity. For China, the SCO is not only about security, but also about expanding economic and political influence. Through the bloc, Beijing promotes infrastructure investment, trade facilitation, and cultural exchanges. The initiative aligns closely with its broader Belt and Road strategy, which aims to connect Asia, Europe, and Africa through a vast network of projects. By hosting the summit in Tianjin, a major northern port city, China underscores its role as a gateway for both commerce and diplomacy. The symbolism is hard to miss. Tianjin connects China's industrial heartland with the wider world, just as the SCO connects its members to a vision of cooperative development. The summit also comes at a time of heightened global uncertainty. Rivalries between great powers have deepened, conflicts across multiple regions persist, and the balance of influence is shifting. Against this backdrop, Beijing wants the SCO meeting to send a signal that there are alternative ways of structuring international relations. Yet critics argue that the SCO has limitations. While it brings together major players like China, India and Russia, the differences between them are vast. From border disputes to divergent economic policies, the organisation faces internal challenges. Some Western analysts view the bloc more as a symbolic grouping than a cohesive alliance. Nevertheless, the fact that leaders are willing to convene under the SCO umbrella is significant. It reflects a shared interest in exploring cooperation, even amid disagreements. Chinese officials repeatedly stressed that the summit is about peace and stability. While Beijing used sharp language toward Western powers, it also emphasized constructive dialogue among SCO members. This dual approach, criticism on one side and promotion of unity on the other, is characteristic of how China positions itself in global diplomacy. In many ways, the SCO summit and the subsequent World War II commemoration march hand in hand. The first emphasizes multilateral cooperation in the present. The second recalls past battles fought in the name of peace. Together, they allow Beijing to present itself as both a partner in today's world and a power rooted in history. As the dates approach, attention will focus on what concrete agreements, if any, emerge from the Tianjin summit. But even before leaders take their seats, China has succeeded in shaping the narrative, one of defiance against hegemonism, of multilateralism as an alternative, and of history serving as a powerful backdrop for diplomacy.